A ghost lives here.
A ghost definitely lives here.
Want to do the take 5 high five?
Take 5 high five. Welcome back to A Ghost Lives Here.
Episode 3 with your host, it's Beth. It's Brenna. Look at us.
We're back. We're ready. We're fresh. It's technically the same day.
We never left.
We never left. We're having to record a little bit of this beforehand just because Brenna has some very exciting news.
I am heading up to Vermont at the end of this month to start my grad program at the Bread Loaf School of English.
That's right.
Bread. Yeah. So we didn't want to pause this. Like, we didn't want to, after 2 episodes, be like, we're going to take a
We're
break.
taking a brief hiatus after our 2-episode posting spree.
Yeah. We're going to stay diligent.
Yeah. We're on a schedule.
And prepare things especially for you.
Yeah. So with any luck, we'll be able to see a little bit about Brenna's experience in some future episodes.
Yeah, for sure. So this episode, we're going to be talking about some of our own personal ghostly paranormal experiences.
Yeah, because Brenna and I are both believers.
Yeah.
We are skeptical about a lot of things on this earth. Doctors, dentists.
Yeah.
Right now I'm
The
just
medical
listing
field.
off medical professionals. There are other things though. I'm a little skeptical sometimes about aliens. I don't know. Lots of stuff.
But ghosts,
But ghosts,
they exist.
we're both pretty sure because we both had experiences as kids and we've both had experiences as adults.
Yeah.
And, I was kind of expecting the childhood ones to be a little bit worse than the adult ones.
No,
No.
exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. Horrifying.
And then we are going to be, instead of doing the business shout out that we've done in the previous 2 episodes, we'll be shouting out some of our favorite creators, even though we both have many, many creators that we adore and that inspire us, but we'll just be giving you sort of an insight into the kind of work that inspires us.
Yeah. We both have a lot of people we love.
Yeah.
And a lot of work that we love to stare at, so we may end up having to do this over the span of multiple episodes.
Exactly. And then
I have a little folklore highlight for y'all. It's replacing our etymology section from last episode, but this one is about a little local cryptid, and he is a fearsome critter of the Lumberwoods, and he is highly relatable. So,
I don't know anything about this creature yet, so I'm really excited to learn from what I call mythological Beth about this creature. So stay tuned, have fun,
get ready,
sit back,
be prepared. It's time. Let's go!
Enjoy!
So for this section, we thought we would talk about some of our experiences with the supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brenna, I think you should go first because I heard a part of this story. I don't know if I heard the second part, but when I was a kid, I heard about what happened.
Yeah.
And it has stuck with me. So
it was back I was in 5th grade. So it wasn't too early on in my life. It wasn't like I was 4 or anything. But my grandma had cancer, and she was staying with us in my parents' house. And it was like middle of the day, and I'm lying in bed, and just casually relaxing. And my grandma was staying in my room, and I was in the guest room. And I look out and I see this figure, like a really shadowy, tall figure wearing a cloak and a top hat going into my grandma's room. And I called to my mom and I was like, who was the guy who just went into grandma's room? And my mom is like coming up the stairs and she's freaking out. She's like, what person who just went into your grandma's room? And she creeps in the door and there's no one in there. But the scary thing is, she actually heard footsteps right before she came upstairs, like in the hallway. And I had never met my grandfather before, he died before I was born. And when I described what the figure looked like to my mom and my family, she was like, that sounds so much like what your grandfather looked like. I never even seen pictures of him, and I wasn't aware that he often wore a top hat. So my family thinks like maybe it was your grandfather coming to, say that it's okay for your grandma to pass along. And then fast forward to like, when was this? It was like 2016 or 17. My grandfather passed away, my one that was still alive on my mom's side. And I was staying at my grandparents' house because my grandma was now very sick. And this one did happen in the middle of the night, but I promise you I was fully awake because I woke up and I heard something happening in this small room, like beside the room in which a lot of us were sleeping, because a lot of the family was there. And the light turns on, and I see this man who's very, very thin, just messing around in that room. And I just completely freeze, and I'm shaking. I don't know why I was so scared, because he wasn't being menacing or anything, but I'm just like sitting there on the couch just shaking and not wanting to look. And then I see the light flick off, and at that point I got off the couch and went over to lay next to my mom because I was this terrified. And so the fact that I was awake and able to like move off the couch and onto the floor signifies that I definitely was awakened by something. And the next morning, I again described what this person looked like, and it turns out that, little did I know, my grandfather had lost a ton of weight before he died, and it did look like a very thin version of my grandpa. So again, we thought this guy was probably like coming to see my grandma, who was very sick, in her room. So my family has always thought that I kind of have this weird thing where I'm able to see the men as ghosts in my life. So that's...
Because that's not horrifying.
Yeah, because it's happened both times my grandfather's passed away, and also the times that my grandmas were sick. And it was such a vivid memory for me, and it was so real. I never felt like it was in that state of half dreaming. It was so real what happened. And again, one of them happened in the middle of the day. So yeah, those are my experiences, my main experiences with ghostly things.
Oh, so
let's take a breath now.
It is hard to follow that up. I remember hearing the first part when I was young and being absolutely terrified.
Yeah, imagine being there.
So my stories are a little more vague. I've had some general experiences, but I've lived in 2 places that were very haunted, and one of them was my childhood home, and all of my siblings and I would see shadow figures in the same hallway. And they would walk, you would hear them walking down the hallway, and they would stand in our doorways and watch us while we were sleeping. It was very weird. They were never that menacing, but it was just something that all of us recognized were a thing, and we thought it was normal. We thought that was something that every child, like, you see shadow figures sometimes. You have shadow figures in your house. They're just there. We had one upstairs that, we had a couple of nicknames for her, but she was a very welcoming presence because she stopped the shadow figures from coming into my little sister's bedroom. So that was one little thing. And when I was in college and I came back to visit and I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden I had a cat, or have a cat actually, her name's Pocket and she's perfect. But I woke up in the middle of the night, and I do get sleep paralysis, so I understand that that is a possibility, but the cat is the crux of this story, because I woke up in the middle of the night to feel something sitting on my bed. And I thought it was my cat, and it was just kind of a blob. And it looked kind of like a person hunched over, but it also kind of looked like my cat. So I reached forward to pet her, and I was like, "Hey, Pocky," and my hand went through it. And the part of the story that really freaked me out was the fact that my cat was actually in the corner of my room hissing and spitting. She is a very chill cat when it comes to me, and she was freaking out, and whatever was on my bed just disappeared, and the weight lifted up. So That freaked me out. Those were my shadow figure stories.
I always freak out when my cat all of a sudden is like...
They know things.
Yeah.
I think they're either, like, constantly high or they know things. I'm not sure which.
I definitely trust my cat's instincts when it comes to him seeing things that are not there.
Well, with Vinny, I for sure would.
Yeah.
With Pocket, she would lie to me to make me upset, I think. But
did your parents ever say anything, like things that you did when you weren't even aware, like when you were 2 or 3, for example, of things you would do as a kid that signified something was there?
Not so much me. My little sister definitely had some moments, like she either was talking to my grandma or like just weird, or great grandma, or just weirdly knew things that my great grandma had done with my mom when they were kids. My little sister would bring things up. She would be like, "Oh, do you remember when we used to go to the zoo and look at the lions?" And my mom was like, "You are a very small child. We have never been to the zoo. What are you talking about?" So, and it was something that my mom had done with my great grandma, who my little sister is named after. So
that's freaky.
Yeah, but didn't you have some things like you would talk on your little phone?
Well, when I was I was earlier than 1. I must have been just a few months old. My family actually lived in New Hampshire, and my dad said that he would just be holding me, and I would be like craning my neck to look in the corner of this room, and he would like spin me away from it, and I would still like try so hard to look in the corner of this room, and he would take me and hold me up to it, and I would start screaming and crying, but I would just smile and wave at this until he would lift me up to it. So apparently I was seeing something in the corners of the house in New Hampshire.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
Yeah,
I did know that story too, I think.
I've always had a really spooky life. And I'm glad for that.
Yes, we are blessed. My second haunted house was the apartment in Dallas.
Yeah.
And that one freaked me out because it was... Okay. It sounds like... Was it Poltergeist that had the footprints? Or was that... no, that's... Paranormal Activity.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It sounds like a spin-off of that a little bit because all of a sudden in my garage, I had someone pass away at this point, and I am convinced it was their ghost. So in the garage, I would see large barefoot footprints going through my garage. I didn't clean my garage very often, so which is why there would be footprints. But nobody was walking in my garage barefoot. That was the first time. And then all of a sudden my bed would start being made. And I know I sound like an insane person. I don't make my bed.
I can confirm.
Yeah.
She's never made her bed.
Brenna has seen my life. I don't make beds. I just don't. I don't understand the purpose. What are you trying to do? Like, what? If you're trying to keep spiders out, they're gonna get... This is a tangent. Never mind. I don't make my bed. And also, my chairs... I lived completely alone at this point. My chairs would be moved. And my very first thought wasn't ghost. It was, someone's living in my attic. Or something along those lines. Because, like, barefoot footprints and people moving my chairs and making my bed and, like, the sink would be running when I came home. It's just weird stuff. And so I had a couple of my guy friends go through the whole apartment and look, and my buddy Jonathan went through just clutching a kitchen knife. He was like, "We'll find it, Beth." And I was like, "Okay, thank you. Great."
I mean, there are only so many places he could be.
Yeah, because it was a smallish apartment. It wasn't, like, huge. Didn't find anything. And stuff, it kept escalating. It started as really friendly stuff, like someone would push all my chairs in, but it kind of ended with, like, my glass bowl of flowers getting flung off of the little mantle while one of my friends was there. And then one of my friends, Allison, was babysitting my house, and she was like, "Yeah, I can't stay there, Beth."
That's called house sitting.
House sitting. Babysitting. It's fine. The house is baby. Houses can be children.
Yeah. So did she experience it, or was it only you seeing it?
She would experience it too. And I had a roommate for a little while who came in, and she would see the doors shut on their own. They would just kind of slam shut if we were talking about things. But yeah, my buddy who was house sitting, babysitting, would not stay there for too long because she was like, yeah, sometimes the water will just start running and like doors shut and open and things are just weird and I don't like it. So I am fairly convinced that we had a ghost there.
That's freaky. Like, at least for me, it wasn't a haunted house situation. It was more just like a ghostly appearance. It wasn't recurring hauntings.
Yeah, all of mine have been recurring hauntings. Although I will say I haven't had any in years since the apartment ones. So
yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. But
if that doesn't convince you.
I don't know. I like that we have two different genres of ghosts.
Yeah.
Mine are more just like, ooh, I'm a coward and you're doing things in my space. Stop it. And yours are like, oh, I'm directly interacting with you, you odd little child.
Yeah, and they have a purpose. They're like coming to say hello / goodbye / I don't know. Mm-hmm. But if you have your own personal ghost stories,
we would love to hear ghost stories.
Yeah, feel free to share.
I actually, in the future, might have a ghost story for y'all from one of my friends. It's a very good one.
That might be cool. So, like, take people's ghost stories. Like, if they want to write in. Yeah. Just be like.
Yeah. Actually, we should post an email that they could send us ghost stories to.
Yeah. And if you want us to share your ghost stories or something, I mean, maybe it's something you want to keep private, but like if you're interested in something like that.
And we're very happy to share them anonymously or to give you a shout out.
Yeah, we'd always give credit if you wish for credit.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, if you guys have ghost stories, send them in and we'll read through them and, you know, if we like them, we'll share them.
Yeah. Awesome. I like this ghost story section idea.
I do too. I think this one should stick around.
Oh yeah. Let us know how you feel.
Yeah, let us know what you think. We're trying out some new sections, trying out some new fresh stuff. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, great.
Hope you're scared.
Yeah, I hope you're terrified. Have a great day.
Now we're going to be talking about some of our favorite creators.
Yes.
We have a lot of them.
We're very excited to share it. This is going to be a recurring section probably because, I mean, we are both so inspired by so many different artists.
Yeah. So I'll just briefly mention the people who I consider them the ones who sort of turned me on to doing graphic novels in the first place. This is my first graphic novel I ever read, which was This One Summer by Mariko and Jillian Tamaki, who are cousins. And I actually read it about a month or so before I started working on my very first graphic novel. And just the most beautiful illustrations I've ever seen in a graphic novel. Very simple but beautiful writing, and just a very low energy coming of age story that takes place on a family vacation. And just the team of the cousins, they're actually, I've heard that they're going to be working on another graphic novel together, probably coming out soon, and all I know is it takes place in New York City. But Mariko also wrote Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. Jillian Tamaki recently illustrated a children's book, so definitely check out both of their work. We'll link the Instagram profiles. And if you're interested in graphic novels, definitely read This One Summer.
I need to read that one. I've heard you talking about it before and I haven't gone around to it.
It's so good.
On my end, I have two artists I'd like to share, and one of them is in commercial ceramics and does teapots, mugs, that sort of thing, and that is Amy Rae Hill. And she is an absolutely fantastic creator. She uses an underglaze technique to create these beautiful and pretty accurate depictions of celestial bodies. Some of my favorite pieces of hers, though, have little astronauts floating away from each other in space, holding hands and that sort of thing, set onto a very realistic background. Absolutely gorgeous. She does commissions every now and then. You have to be real quick to get one, but highly recommend it, and I will link her Instagram in the description as well. And my second artist is Bjorn Olcom Skarup, and he is a sculptor who creates gorgeous bronze statues. They're usually little folk tales and animals and outfits, but a lot of his sculpture is a little bit of a play on words. And so like his zodiac, he did all the zodiac signs in these large bronze sculptures, and they're just absolutely stunning. highly recommend checking out his stuff. He's more on the fine arts and sculptural side of things as opposed to like the mugs and functional wares, which personally I think mugs and functional wares do count as fine art, but I know there's a little bit of a divide in how you create those things, so. But those are my two, and they'll both be down in the description as well.
Yeah, it's just nice that people have, people are into sculpture and the more fine arts, it's like, check out that. If you are more of a reader type, check out the books.
It's fun to have a pretty wide variety of things we're into. So.
Yeah. So I mean, that kind of gives you an insight onto like the kind of things that inspire us to create our own work.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool to talk about.
Yeah, so definitely check them out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Let's talk about folklore.
I'm so excited.
So today's creature is actually one of the fearsome critters of the Lumberwoods, and it was first recorded in about 1910 in a book by the same name, Fearsome Critters of the Lumberwoods, by William Cox, I believe. And this creature is called the squonk. Now, the squonk is native to Pennsylvania, so if you read some of the earlier forms from like 1910, it does say he was in the swamp and the desert and then migrated into the hemlock forests of Pennsylvania. And that can kind of be attributed to the fact that loggers at the time, who were a lot of the people telling these tall tales, they were moving as they were logging, and so it kind of explains why the squonk moved habitats. But the squonk, its main thing is its skin does not fit it. It has this misshapen, goopy flesh that's covered in warts and blemishes. And if you are trying to hunt a squonk, you just have to follow their tears. They leave behind tears because they're constantly crying. They're very sad creatures. And
this is relatable.
Well, the best part is, part of why they are so hard to capture is because if you look at them and try to like capture them, sometimes it upsets them to the point that they will actually dissolve into tears. They just completely dissolve. And there's actually, it's kind of fun because in science, there is something called a chemical squonk, which was named as a nod to this creature. And it is a substance that's stable, but when you try to capture it, it starts decomposing.
That's fascinating.
Isn't that fun? I love the like connections between different spheres of interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, the squonk, he's a little fella. He has a little trunk. Highly recommend looking him up. I'm very fond of the squonk. It's one of those creatures that isn't around to be scary. It's not around to give you a moral lesson. He's just a little fella. He doesn't know any better.
Isn't Squonk a musical?
I have no idea. It might be. I do.
Oh, I'm thinking of Honk.
Honk. Similar words.
Slightly different.
Squonk does appear. I know that he's on some music track is named Squonk, and like it appears in pop culture quite a lot. I'm gonna have to look a little more into it, but sorry, got excited. I'm going a little hoarse. But yeah, the squonk, he's beautiful. Check him out. Actually, I highly recommend if you're in the Appalachian area or northeastern America, check out the Fearsome Critters of the Lumberwoods. They have some of the weirdest little tall tales and fun creatures, and so many of them do not fall into the archetype of, cryptids that like they're omens and they're horrifying and they're creatures that want to eat you. The vast majority of the Fearsome Critters of the Lumberwoods, they're just little guys. They're just little fellas.
We should go on a squonk hunt.
We should go on a squonk hunt.
I would love that.
Let us know in the comments if you would like to see a live stream of our squonk hunt.
The answer better be yes.
Yeah.
We're going to do it anyway.
Or else we will be the ones dissolving into tears.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love the squonk.
That is so exciting. I'm glad I know more about this creature now.
Pro squonk team.
Quiz
quiz. Alright. So.
It's our favorite section.
We love doing these quizzes. So today's is
create your life as a ghost and we'll give you someone to haunt for the rest of eternity.
Very excited to see who we're going to haunt.
Yeah.
All right. So first and foremost, how did you die?
Oh man, okay. I died in a fire, someone pushed me off a bridge, I was stabbed, I was poisoned, a tree fell on me, or old age.
Someone's gonna push me off a bridge. Feel it in my bones.
I think that a tree falls on me.
I can see that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of dying in the woods.
That's pretty good.
Where no one can hear you scream.
What type of ghost are you? Friendly, vengeful, angry, chill, sneaky, or sad? I'm gonna have to go with friendly. My heart wants to be vengeful, and I think I might go through little angry phases. But I think I'd be a friendly. I like people.
I definitely see that for you. My ideal would be a friendly ghost, but I think that I would gravitate more towards sneaky.
Ooh.
Because I would be like a sneaky sort of friendly, you know?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with
like
sneaky.
they're looking for their keys, and so you move them to where they can see them. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's the only time we touch other people's stuff.
Yeah.
To be helpful.
Okay.
Oh, I know which one you're gonna answer. I think.
Pick a place to haunt. Oh yeah. Old mansion, abandoned hospital, amusement park, graveyard, forgotten church, or a ransacked library.
Man, can you guess which one I'm gonna pick? There are several I like, but
I would say probably. Well, you like the old stuff, like churches. Like, it was a really pretty church, like an old Gothic church.
This one is subpar.
Yeah, so I would say probably the hospital.
I'm actually gonna go with the amusement park.
I would, yeah. I mean, it would be fun to ride.
It would be so loud.
I just picture you in something really like large and regal.
See, that's hard. I'm gonna go with the church. Actually, I want to say the amusement park, but let's be real. Those lights are gaudy.
And also, I guess I was thinking more of like something that shuts down part of the year, because we're so used to not having amusement parks open all year long.
Yeah.
And you want to have fun all the time.
Oh, for sure. And like, you don't want to be sad and hanging out in a closed amusement park. Now, an abandoned amusement park, I would haunt in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I can see that.
Less lights, less sounds, less of that ding ding ding. Oh, do you wanna buy a ball to throw at some stuff?
All that.
No, actually, I really love amusement parks though. It's just not for eternity.
Not for dead people.
All right, pick an object to possess. There is a creepy doll, a teddy bear. Little, what are those called? Swing sets. I started thinking staircase. And that's there's also a tricycle, a clown, and a wee little carousel.
I am going with a swing set.
That's fair.
Because I just like picture the swinging. Because they wouldn't know, is it the breeze or are you a dead person?
See, I'm so torn right now between the clown doll or the little mini carousel, because having the carousel go and like do the little tinkling music, I feel like that's very me.
Yeah.
But also clowns.
But you know...
I'm gonna go with the carousel because I think I want to pick the clown just to pick the clown.
Yeah, and I think that the clown itself already looks creepy to most people, and the carousel isn't...
You can make it your own.
Yeah.
Give it your haunting flair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, pick a creepy message to write on someone's mirror while they're in the shower.
I simply wouldn't haunt them while they're naked.
This was a little uncomfortable, but I'm watching you. You can't run and you can't hide. Boo. What is like, hey boo.
I like that one.
Watch your back. Your time is running out. Or I can't wait until you fall asleep tonight.
I'm torn between boo and I can't wait till you fall asleep tonight.
I'm going with the last one. I can't wait till you fall asleep tonight. It's so threatening.
I think I'm gonna say boo. I think that would be fun.
It would take less time.
It would take less time, and also the first few times it happens, they'll be like, "Oh, my roommate's messing with me. Isn't it so weird they come into the bathroom when I'm showering?"
So true. You know what? I'm going with boo. You've convinced me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, pick a former president to become pals with in the afterlife. Abraham Lincoln, John Quincy Adams, William Howard Taft, James K. Polk, Millard Fillmore, Franklin D. Roosevelt. I'm gonna say Abraham Lincoln, I guess, because he has a nice hat, but for the record, I don't like any presidents.
Yeah, I barely know any information about any of these people, but I'm going to probably go with Roosevelt. Isn't that the Roosevelt from the musical Annie?
I don't know, Brenna. I'm not.
I am so bad with history, honestly.
I'm bad with history too, and I'm worse with musicals. So.
And yeah, Roosevelt. I think. So if that is in fact the president from the musical Annie, I'm pretty purely because of that.
If not, what does it matter?
I wouldn't hang out with presidents in the afterlife.
No, I wouldn't either. I think every U.S. president has done horrible things and has allowed horrible things to happen under his reign.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Not to get political, but meh.
Yeah. Okay. Pick a ghostly prank to play on someone. Pull their chair out as they're about to sit down. Whisper their name in their ears and falling asleep. Keep changing their car radio station to play only Nickelback songs.
I like that one.
Keep changing the TV to The Big Bang Theory. Put their keys in the fridge every morning right before they leave for work. Start playing their piano in the middle of the night. Oh, I'm doing that one. Playing the piano in the middle of the night. I might as well be entertaining myself, too.
I am tempted for most of these, but for the record, if I was a ghost, my prank I would play, it would be the long con. I'd pick a child, right? And anytime he tries to eat a pudding cup, I'd slap it out of his hands. Only pudding cups. That's how I would spend my days. I would follow this child around, and if he tried to eat a pudding cup, gone.
I wonder if this is why I don't like pudding.
Because of me?
Yes. No, but if there's like a child in my life slapping pudding out of my hands and making me not eat it.
But see, I would make it so this child never tasted a pudding cup for all his days, until maybe he was in the retirement home, and like, as a gift to him, I would let him have one pudding cup. As for this question, that was a tangent, sorry. I think about that a lot, though. I think that would be fun. I'm going to whisper their name in their ear as they're falling asleep, because I think that's fun. And, like, we all get auditory hallucinations when you're trying to fall asleep, you know, when you hear people being like, "What? Yeah.
You know what? There was this one time, I actually have a recording of this, maybe I'll play it at one point, but I had this melody in my ear, and it was either as I was falling asleep or waking up, and I actually hummed the melody into my phone so I could remember it. So I have this melody, I call it ear music, in my phone, and it was just like playing in my ear for a very long time, and I couldn't fall back asleep.
That's horrifying. I love that.
Yeah, I still have the melody saved. So I'll play that at one point.
I'll have to listen to that, yeah. What was your job when you were immortal? Obituary writer, undertaker, ghost hunter, scientist, butler, magician. None of those is the problem here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say scientist because glazes?
Yeah, I'm gonna say obituary writer because writer.
Yeah, like it's...
That'd be so fun to like write just terrible obituaries. Like... and then lastly, pick a final resting place for your soul to live for the rest of eternity. In a graveyard, in Chuck E. Cheese's, Long John Silver's, an old abandoned boat, a dumpster, or Taco Bell slash Pizza Hut.
Okay, in defense of the Chuck E. Cheese, I would love to be the thing that is haunting those animatronics.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that there's so much there to haunt. I mean, if you're haunting the back kitchens, no one will see you, and there's not much else out like where people are eating.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I would love to be in those animatronics and like just terrify people.
You could mess with the games.
Although, for the record, the boat is where I would like to live as a person.
Yeah, this is just a final resting place for your soul to live. I mean, don't you have like a bedroom? I want my bedroom on the boat and then spend my days at the Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, like I want my day job to be haunting the Chuck E. Cheese, and I want to be able to go home at night to my little decrepit boat.
Yeah, let's go with day job.
Day job, okay.
Wait, who is this person?
Who's your person? Stuart. All right, so we've been paired up with our afterlife mate, Stuart. This is Stuart, and he's so scared of ghosts, guys. Seriously, one look at your ghostly body, and he will literally pee his pants. It'll be hilarious. Sorry, Stuart.
He just looks very scared.
He's just a very scared man. I'm not sure about this one. Do you think that no matter what you pick, you get Stuart?
Because we picked a lot of different things.
I think they just...
I think you always get Stuart.
I think they just give you Stuart.
If you take this quiz,
wait,
Can you let us know? Yeah, so this quiz, while she's trying something different here, is by Sarah Wainshill on BuzzFeed staff. So,
you get different people.
Oh, you do?
Like,
oh, wait, that's a Michael
It's
Sarah.
a real person.
Oh,
we just got Stuart with no context. The other option right now is Michael Sarah. So you guys take the quiz. Tell us who you got. I bet you didn't get Stuart.
At least we're hunting the same ghost.
Or the same little guy, yeah.
Yeah, or the same guy. Yeah, we can like haunt him together.
We need to find Stuart.
That'd be fun. Forget the squawk. The hunt for Stuart. All right. Let us know what person you're going to haunt for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, because apparently we're haunting Stuart. I hope some of y'all get Michael Sarah. So yeah, sit with that.
Thanks.
So. This has been episode 3.
We hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us.
And if you love us, then, or even just like us,
or even just tolerate us, consider subscribing. You know, if it's anything that isn't hatred, I think you can justify clicking the little subscribe button.
Even if you hate us, maybe if you just love to hate us.
Yeah. Hate subscribe to us. Do it.
If we are your least favorite people in the entire world,
absolutely. Subscribe so you can watch what we do and you can be like, haha, look at those two.
Look at those losers, man.
What dorks. But really, thank you guys so much. We're having so much fun recording these.
Yeah. And we'll have more coming soon. The next episode 4 already.
Oh my gosh.
On September 1st. And then October will be our Halloween kind of episode, which will be awesome.
Let us know. We're thinking about doing a live stream for Halloween. Either getting ready or maybe carving pumpkins again like we did last year. Something fun, maybe even a squonk hunt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh. If you want to see, again, squonk hunt / Stuart hunt.
Yeah, let us know. Stuart.
So write in the comments, again, suggestions, comments, whatever you feel. And we'll be back to see you soon.
Yeah, and thank you guys again. Have a great month.
Bye.
Goodbye.